Hello, hello, hello. My name is Desi May, and this is the Pink Table Talk, or P.T.T, where we get D.E.E.P. Okay, we're getting deep today. So I just wanted to take a moment out my night, my evening, and I'm going to share one thing, but just something that's been on my heart lately. And I hope that we all can just reflect and relate in some way because I feel as if we all kind of go through a sort of reflection about the things that we wanted to do, the things we wanted to see, and stuff like that. So, what we are going to be, or what I'm going to be talking about, is I'm grieving myself. And at first, when I thought about the whole grieving yourself, I'm like, is that even a thing? Because we equate grieving with a person who's passed, like who's no longer in this realm. And a part of that is true because my mother did pass away about a year ago. And I'm just lost for words. Like, I'm better at understanding and just the process of losing a parent or just anybody close to your heart. But to kind of go through that cycle again, but with yourself, is like, is this even possible? Like, what is going on in this matrix right now? So that's what I have going on. It started about like around the summertime where everybody's outside doing these fun things, and I'm kind of like, hey, what do I like to do? And just in this contemplative, reflective state of mind. And the closer it got to my mother's, passing, I just started thinking about where was I a year ago? Like, what was going on a year ago and like the months before? And so I thought about it and I said, I was doing this, or I thought I was doing this, and just looking at the dreams I had a year ago, and it's like, well, I didn't get to do them because I had, the process of dealing or handling a parent who was sick. My mother, she had cancer, and that whole thing is a process in itself. But just that process, and then having to do the stuff you need to do to take care of them after death as well. And it was like, where was my head? What did I like? What did I want to do? And so, all that to say, I wrote where I made a post on my blog, and I titled it "The Grieving Self," which I will read in a little bit. But it just was me getting out very briefly the how I feel, because like I said, we equate grieving with a person who's not here, but how does that work when the person you're grieving is yourself, or it's your past self? So I'm gonna just read what I wrote, share what I wrote with y'all. So this is called "The Grieving Self" that I wrote. I said, it has been a full year where I've lost my mother, and in that time, I've had to step up, buckle up, and carry out the duties, responsibilities of having to care for someone beginning of prognosis to the peaceful end. Lately, I have found myself in a sense of peace about my mother. However, I am now experiencing another wave of sadness, grief in my life. This grief that I'm experiencing is the girl, the woman, who I envisioned myself to be by the previous year of 2023. As I said, I made the year mark of my mother's passing. Thank you, Ring Camera. Um, and have had the time to reach a semi-solid level of comfort about her death. But in that time, I didn't hold any to no space for myself in the things I had sought out. Things like completing my master's, sharing an apartment with my partner, traveling, finding a career, just 20 something year old aspirations that I wanted to pursue. As I am writing this, the lump in my throat grows because it has indeed been a journey to deal with a loss so close to my heart, and now to seemingly, literally, journey through another level of pain is something my 2023 or 2024 self didn't see coming. I am currently re enrolled in classes, career searching, cooking, baking, socializing, and creating YouTube content. And it dawned on me that there is goodness transpiring within my life. In the midst of this grace and goodness around me, I think, sympathize even, for the me that couldn't reach her dreams how she thought she could. I could think about how the stress from bearing witness of my mother's prognosis, my mother's transitioning, caring for family, being adaptable, supportive, and having to navigate going to school, relationships, bills, paperwork, so much paperwork, and just having to delegate multiple tasks that no one finds easy or pleasant is a load that is just impossible for one person. I didn't have the time to grieve myself, and I heard someone mention that when the body feels safe is when all the is when all the emotions, feelings, tears, screams, just everything will finally all come out. It may seem inconvenient, but I know that it's healthy for me to release all of this hurt so that I may make space for the joy, happiness, laughter, and abundance that I so rightfully deserve. It's hard, seemingly impossible, to see the purpose behind the madness, but it's a beautiful madness that I'm going to love so hard on. Loving myself and my journey in and out is what will make my life the bestest, most beautiful, and most divine bouquet of flowers to blossom that I will gladly treat myself to. So that's what I wrote, and I'll put my blog in the description or however YouTube setups be where you can show people where to go find stuff. So you can read like other things that I write. But yeah, I wrote that, and of course it's different when you have thoughts in your head and when you put them out like in the ethers, because I instantly started crying after I wrote it, and I said, look at me releasing all these, well, not all, but releasing some of the emotion that was within me. And also I just looked at that blog post as ways that we can let our emotions out, that are cathartic, if that is the right way I'm saying that. Just things that help release the emotions. Sometimes we just need to cry. Sometimes we need to scream, punch something. We want to punch somebody, but we can punch a pillow, or we can write, or we can draw and stuff like that. So I was also happy to have that channel out of me, because we don't need that type of energy just stuck within you, especially when we want to move forward in our lives and stuff like that. But say all that to say, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope that whatever issues that you may have, that this was inspiring, this was helpful in some way, getting the brain going, get the emotions moving, because it is for me to make YouTube content and to write things on my blog. So I want to thank you again. My name is Desi May. This is the Pink Table Talk, where we get D.E.E.P. Messed that all up, but Pink Table Talk, P.T.T, where we get D.E.E.P. That's the right way to say it. I love you all. Thank you so much for everything, and I will see you in the next video. Also, I do my blog on this website called WordPress. I started this around COVID. Mm-hmm. And I say that and look like that because I don't remember how I went about finding it. I think it was through a friend. But that's where I post just how I feel. And you can also read other people's blogs. It's a variety of topics and genres that you want to read. And I say that to say that, if you or anyone wants to start a sort of construction of your work, just to get things out, that's not always tied to social media, because social media can be really influential in our mental health and the things that we go through. WordPress is a way that you can get that out. I'm not sponsored, but I'm just letting y'all know. You can go through WordPress. So that's all I want to say. So hope that helps.